Hey guys, James here today and welcome back to another house building video. Today we are working on another 3x3 home. So I've done one of these before and I gotta say it has got nothing on this one. So in case you guys haven't seen it, I did a build recently that was an apartment complex that had a bunch of studio apartments in it that were all really tiny. And I did this trick with move objects on, as you can see I'm already doing here, where I raised objects above some of the others so you could create a loft space. And basically what this does in the game, it actually allows you to overlay multiple objects that are all in fact usable. And this is all in the same level. This is not two levels. This is one level of 3x3. Obviously I've used the extra high walls to give us a bit more space up in the loft, but this is all still one 3x3 room with a fully functional house. So we're going to have a shower, a sink, not a bath, a toilet, a kitchen, the bed, a computer, and a TV, all in this space of 3x3. And this is far and out way better than the original one I did. When I did that, I thought that was really good. I was really proud of that, don't get me wrong. But then I learned these new techniques to get more stuff in and make it more detailed. Now, I did put a double bed in hoping that they would use the other side, but I don't think, because normally when you put a double bed in The Sims 4 against a wall, they can actually like scoot across to the other side. It doesn't appear to work when it's like raised up like this, but in any case, it's in there anyway because it can fit and everything works anyway. So I left it there. I don't think they can use the other side of it though. I was hoping that this could be a two-person 3x3 home, though, you know, it'd be a pretty cramped 3x3 house if it was, but you know, who doesn't love a double bed to themselves? So I think that's still pretty damn good. So just there, I have squeezed in the dining table that you can see, which is not really going to be used as a dining table. It's actually more just used for the computer. I'm going to put a PC on that. But here I am just adjusting all these pieces to fit in and still work. Very crucial to have a sim on the lot so you can test it because, you know, without the ability to test these things, it's really hard to know if they're going to work. So that's why I've got to have the sim here all of the time so I can make sure it's all working. Now I'm just trying to fit in the toilet. So you can see how this space is going to work. We have the kitchen down the bottom because all we need in the kitchen really is a stove, one counter and a fridge. And that will actually allow us to get everything up and running. Now, I really wish I could have left that half wall there. But that half wall doesn't work in the end, which is unfortunate because I think it actually provides a really nice privacy barrier between the toilet and the rest of the room. But you'll see that change. Now, another challenge was actually figuring out how to do the windows because this is all one room and it's not two floors. We can't do windows above each other, so that's why it's got like these, you know, I did two large windows on the side, as you can see. So that's like sort of the windows for the lower floor, and then there's also a small window at the back. Then we have these small square windows up the on the sort of top loft area. So here I am just trying to figure out how to do the lounge room. I really wanted to use this huge spa-day chair, but I don't think it was going to work. Even if because I was testing this hoping that it would work without with the half wall, but it didn't appear to. But yeah, adjusting this chair just enough and the toilet means that he can use the toilet and the chair, which is really handy. So in case you're wondering what I'm using for the flooring, because obviously we can't put actual flooring in there. Those things that I'm using are actually like from the pool decorations. They are like a lane marker that you'd see at the bottom of a pool. So I've just scaled them up, raised them up, and in they go. Now, if you don't know how to like raise items or scale them, I do have tutorials on my channel. If you search on my channel for like move objects on, or not on, just move objects cheat, there's a tutorial on that will tell you how to move items up and down. And I think scaling, I don't know if that's in that video or it might be a separate one. I don't know, but there's tutorials all over the place on it. And then really getting this whole sort of loft thing to work is just trial and error. Is raising items up, positioning them in a way that they can reach them, sort of just really gradually moving them back and forth, trying to get them all to fit in. And it's really incredible how much you can fit into a 3x3 space when you do this. It's actually pretty insane. Like we get a double bed, a full kitchen, a full bathroom, you know, effectively a living room. We have the lounge chair and a TV. It's pretty crazy. So here I am just making up a little ladder type of thing using these Spa-Day, I don't know, little light strips because they look like ladder rungs, and that actually works out really well. And then I use like this weird L-shaped thing there just to act as like the other side of the ladder. So yeah, it looks like a ladder. Obviously Sims are not going to use it as a ladder. So you just ignore that fact. But it also actually adds a nice sort of room separator between the toilet and the kitchen. I mean, granted, this place is probably not going to be super hygienic, but then there's lots of tiny homes in the world, you know, as long as you keep everything clean. I mean, in an ideal world, yes, you would have your toilet in a separate room. At the very least, because that's the thing that, you know, you do a poo in, and that's not great to have in the kitchen. But this is, you know, The Sims. And unfortunately, I couldn't, because what I did want to do is, yeah, I wanted to do those half walls on the front and the side of it. I think you might have seen it, where I tried to put like an archway, but it wouldn't fit. Like, there's just absolutely no way to fit a toilet, like a separate room in a 3x3 and have all the other stuff work as well. I mean, I say there's absolutely no way, but who knows? Maybe if I played around more, I might be able to get it to work. But at this stage, I wasn't able to get that to work, so it's kind of just in the room. So I mean, it's The Sims, it works, and I guess that's pretty good. So up the top here, I've actually used a couple of wall lights that have a sort of warmer orange sort of base light. It's just a warmer light, which I thought was pretty nice for the bedroom area. And it's actually quite good because the light doesn't carry very far down below into the sort of kitchen and bathroom area. So what I've used is actually a much cooler white light. So it's just it feels a bit brighter, and it feels more comfortable up top. You know, it feels warmer up the top. Down the bottom that's where you get your business done. But up the top, you just hang out and have a good time. One really annoying thing with this is every time I went to change the wallpaper, as you can see there, like it's removing that dining chair. You'll see me put the dining chair back a few times, and and every so often a few items muck up. So here I'm just trying to pick out the colors to put in here. So this room, I'm going to call it a room because I don't know if I can call it a house, but this room took a surprising amount of time because it took me about an hour to get this thing up and running, which I guess may not seem like much, but the last time I did the 3x3, like the video was, what was that, like 9 minutes or something like that, and that only took me like maybe half an hour, maybe a little bit less, maybe 20 to 30 minutes, just because in this I was able to do so much more and spend so much more time getting it all to work. I think one of the harder things as well is making the exterior look decent because it's a 3x3 tower essentially, which as far as homes are concerned, it's a weird shape to have a house that is like so small but also like super tall. I mean, I guess it would fit better in if you had like a whole bunch of them. Like what you could do is you could save this room. You could save it as a room, the entire house, and copy and paste them and put like 50 of them on one lot. You could do that, and then maybe it would make a little bit more sense. I don't know. It would have less windows though, but that's something you could do. That'd be interesting. Maybe I'll play around with that a little bit. I mean, that'd all look identical, but yeah, it'd be a bit of fun. Yeah, so just testing out all the items. As you can see, the computer is working, the bed was still working, which is really, really fantastic. So at the moment, I'm pretty much just trying to style things and because the last time I did this, the room was kind of bland. It was more of just a challenge last time to see if it would function rather than all about design. Whereas this one, I was really trying to design it to actually make it look nice. And like, as much as I don't want to put down my previous works, I think that the last 3x3 wasn't anywhere near as beautiful as this one. Like I'm really, really happy with the way this turned out, especially for the size. Like it is actually tiny and it's fully functional too. It has everything you need. Even a bin, which I often forget. I don't think there's anything else that you would need to play. I mean, there's no like skill building items, but of course, like as far as all the essential items go, I think we have everything in there. Like, you know, you can have your shower, go to the toilet, you can eat, you can have your fun, you can sleep. I don't even know what's the other need. I don't know. There's some other need in there. I've forgotten what it is, but like we have pretty much everything that you need to get by. Like you could play the entire game in this house and that would be fine. So I'm just going to look up my previous build and see when it was, because I know it was a while ago, and I just want to like sort of compare it really to how far I've come with the really just it was the understanding of how to raise items up and get them in, because I remember I saw people do this when I was originally doing the first like tiny house builds. People sent me like screenshots on Twitter. I think it was really 1 or 2 people that had like a raised bed, and I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. I didn't know you could do that. And then from there, that's where I started doing, like, just recently did like all the lofts and that, because it's a really cool way to fit in a lot of stuff. So I'm just gonna load up this puny build. Yeah, 9 minutes. Let me have a look at this, because I don't think it's anywhere near as complex as the one we're doing now. It also looks super cheap because I think that was the idea. Yeah, it's super blue as well. Oh, that's one thing that we don't have in here is there's no bookcase or anything. But I was thinking of doing the bookcase that goes on the wall, but there really wasn't a space because the one that goes on the wall you actually need like room in front of it to reach it. I think. Oh, I might be able to fit in. You might be able to get in there somewhere, or you can just put stuff outside because I decided to give this place a fairly large exterior just to have a bit of fun. You know, so you can have an outdoor entertaining area so you don't have to be stuck inside that tiny thing all the time. Because I wonder how the ventilation of that would be. It'd probably get, if you didn't have good ventilation in there, it'd get stuffy super quickly. Just because it's pretty small. But yeah, no, looking at the last one, I think this is just an absolute freaking leapfrog. This goes way, way further than that one did. That had a lot of stuff in it, but it was a lot less beautiful. Like I'm looking at it now. I'm really, really happy that this was even possible and that it actually turned out as well as it did. Like I'm so keen. I mean, I would love to see you guys give this a go as well. I don't know. I don't know if it's possible to go smaller than this with everything in it. Like you could go smaller and cut a few things out. Obviously you could go to a single bed. That'd be quite easy. You could also get rid of a computer. You don't need to have a computer. You don't need a dining table either. You could get rid of that. But the things you do need, and you could technically get rid of the shower as well, which I think the last 3x3 didn't even have a shower because I couldn't fit it in. So like you don't need a shower in The Sims because you can just wash your hands multiple times. So you could get rid of the shower. I guess you could go smaller. I don't know if you could do a 2x3. You might be able to get rid of 1 or 2 squares. I don't know. That's a challenge. That's a challenge. I think if you can get any, I don't think there's a way to get a 2x2 that meets every need without, I mean, like, I guess you could if you use like the cooler, from Outdoor Retreat that has like, you can just get snacks out of. I guess you could do that. I mean, I think you can, but I don't think a 2x2 would be nearly as... it wouldn't seem nearly as realistic as this. Well, I say realistic, but nearly as fully functional as this. Like, I think going down to 2x2, you'd lose a lot of the sort of luxuries of this. Like, you would have to have a toilet, so that would take up... because you just can't go to the toilet. I mean, you could use the get-together bush, but then I don't want to put a bush in a room. I don't know. That's a challenge. Maybe we'll have to see if we can get any smaller than than a 3x3 next. Because the fact that I could actually fit in this much, whereas previously I didn't think I could even fit anywhere near this much. Because I mean, the last one I did had half the amount of items this did. I think this goes to show that you can do a lot with a absolutely tiny space in The Sims 4, which is amazing. It really is. Because if you try to do something like this in The Sims 3, like, well, first of all, you can't even raise items up, so that's not even possible. But I guess what you could do in Sims 3, I was going to say, because if you do split level, where make each of the levels like half level, you might be able to make it look like a regular story home, but I don't know. That'd be interesting. Well, number one, The Sims would probably get stuck on absolutely everything in The Sims 3 because the way they move around The Sims 4 is a lot smoother in terms of them finding how to get to an item than it was in like The Sims 3, especially The Sims 2. Oh, good luck in The Sims 2. It'd be interesting to see how small you can get in the previous games. The Sims 1, well, you can't even, there's not even move objects in The Sims 1. So, I mean, as small as you can make a full house is as small as you can go there. I don't know. It'd be interesting in previous games. I don't know if I want to try it, but I'd like to see if what you guys can sort of muster up in Sims 2 and 3 and even 4 if you can get it smaller than this. That has I think really the challenge is make it smaller than this, but attempt to have all of the functionality still. So don't see how few things you can cut back on. Because yeah, you could just replace the kitchen with a cooler, and yeah, you could just replace a shower with a sink. But it's nicer to not have to do that. I think it's nicer if you can keep all the actual items in there. It'd be interesting. I think you could get smaller. You could definitely get smaller. But whether or not it is actually any good, I guess is a whole nother question. I mean, I wonder if you could do 3 loft levels. Or 3 levels in a single story. Because at the moment, we've only got 2 levels. Like, we have the ground floor and then we have the loft. Now I'm wondering could I squeeze another level in there? Like, could I put the bed on the top, very top level, then have a level in between that's like a living room, and then the level of the floor that's like something I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't tried it, but it might be possible. I mean, yeah, the headroom would be absolutely tiny, and you have to squeeze in there, but you might be able to get some more things in. I don't know. I have no clue. It'd be interesting. It really would. So now this, yeah, like I was saying earlier, the exterior was a bit of a challenge to get it to look interesting, because I could have just left it as a box, but I wanted to add some depth and some interesting elements to the exterior. So I used on the side there, I used all those shelves to act as like I guess like a window shade kind of thing. So like it's going over the window there. So it would, when the sun is up high, or it would sort of just act as a shade through the window there, which is quite nice, I think. And then I was just trying to, and then because we just had a lot of blank walls, because I would have loved to add more windows up the top, but like I said, you can't layer windows, unfortunately. So like you can't have two windows on the same grid tile, so that's why it ends up being a little bit blank up the top, which is why I was trying to figure out some other things to do. And then I remembered we had these beautiful industrial steel beams from Get to Work that I used to love using all the time, so I thought I'd bring them back. This is by no means an industrial build, but I think it fits in really, really nicely. Like it kind of looks, it looks a little bit industrial from the outside, so it's kind of interesting. I think it's quite nice. And then again, using these sort of shade elements on the upper level, especially because that's the bedroom area, so you'd want it to be a little bit darker, because there's no curtains or blinds on the interior, because there's not really any room, because if you put like a curtain or a blind in, it actually takes up physical space. Like, I mean, Sims can walk through it fine, but it will clip into all the other items that we have, so I didn't really want to use those. But I think it also adds just an interesting element to the exterior and sort of makes it pop a little bit more than just a blank wall would. Anyway, screenshot time! So here it is, the 3x3 fully functional home with kitchen, with bathroom, with bedroom, with living room. It's pretty crazy. I think it's really cool. Once we jump inside, I really love that angle there too. That's really cool. Once we jump inside, you'll see just how sort of compact and how detailed it is, which I'm really, really proud of. You can, of course, download this on the gallery. The link is down below, or you can search for The Sim Supply, the same as my YouTube username, just with no spaces. Here is the lower floor, which I think that shot looks really cool. I think this is just fantastic. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I am so happy with how this looks. It is... Actually, I really, really love it. I really do. And then just a sort of overview of the lower floor there. And then the upper floor, just here it is. With the bed, the dining table with the computer, it's like a lounge chair, all that kind of stuff. But again, yes, you can download this. It is available now. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I want to see what you guys can do with tiny spaces as well. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you next time, and have an awesome day.